All right, and we should be live after a little bit of an issue. Let me just pull up the chat. And if someone can please let me know if it is working, that would be amazing. All right, so the chat seems to be working. Again, if someone who is watching could please let me know that it is working. All right, let's delete that. Okay, let me pull my chart up. All right, thank you guys. So, let me switch over to the webcam. Hello everyone, my name is Charlie from Altcoin Mentors, and today I'm going to be going over the price action of the last week in both Bitcoin and a few different altcoins, as well as my strategy for this coming week, and then go into answering your questions as best as I can. So these questions can be on the material that I'm about to present, or it can be on absolutely anything. So as always, I have between an hour, hour and a half, depending on how many questions are actually asked. And what always ends up happening is that people ask questions right when I'm about to close the stream. So please try not to do that. If you have a question, just throw it in the chat and I'll get to it. But first, let's go over to what has happened in Bitcoin land. Switch over to that. Let me go here. So I, as always, am starting off with the long-term chart because you always have to keep in mind where things have been and where they are going in the very long term. So my target remains the same, and that is between 48,000 and 82,000 within the next year. So, and then someone had asked me what it would take to become more bearish than that, and that would be a break below 3090. So you can see here that this support, the 0.5 is at 3090. So if we break that, that's when I'll start to get worried that this has been more of a major top and that we're in this already, and then we could possibly see some downside into the 1300 area. So as always, even though it is not probable, you need to be prepared. You have to have a plan and know exactly what actions you're going to take no matter what happens. All right, that's not the chart I want. I want the daily. So this is the daily chart, and yes, I know there's a lot of possibilities, but the good thing is that we don't actually have to worry about any of these possibilities until they're actually fully completed. So what I mean by that will become clearer once I get into the next chart, the 4-hour. But for now, I'll just say that even though almost everyone right now is bullish, that does not necessarily mean that you should be as well. In fact, it usually means the opposite. So if you look on the Bitfinex longs and shorts ratio, the longs to shorts were greatest at the very, very top. So yeah, you definitely don't necessarily want to be following the crowd. This is a poll on Twitter. So how are you feeling about the market? It was 76% bullish and 24% bearish. And this is quite a bearish indicator in my opinion, just because what makes a price move up is more money coming in. And that sounds simplistic and obvious. But when you have 76% of people who are bullish already, this generally means that the 76% of people have bought into the market already. And if they've bought in already, they have no more money to put in. So if only 24% of people have not put in money yet, that is not good for the price to continue going up. So yeah, it's the downside possibility is still very, very palpable. So in this case, the immediate downside possibility is this ABC down to the I guess it's a sky blue 4 in the 4,000 region. So like I said before, you have to have a plan. I cannot emphasize this enough. Anything is possible in the market, and if you don't have a plan for it, you're just going to get completely steamrolled. So obviously the other ones are much more bullish than that. So we could either fill out this pink leading diagonal where we go up, down, up, and then we go down, and then finally continue on a bigger bull run. Or we could just be tracing out a triangle. So the triangle is in red. So this was A, B, C, D, E. And the thing about these two patterns is that we won't actually know that they've completed until the very end. So like I said before, we don't really have to worry about them that much. The one that would be possibly the most evil, and just off of that metric, the one that is perhaps most likely would be this green. So A, B, C, where you have the 4 again in that region between 4,800 and 3,000. So that calls for immediate upside from here up to around the $13,000 region, and then a drop down into the 4,000s again. So this would be a bull trap to end all bull traps. I mean, this would just be completely devastating. But I don't think any of these has an edge over one another. Like normally in other markets, according to Elliott wave theory, you don't really see leading diagonals that much, but in crypto they're very, very common. You don't really see shallow 4s in other markets, but they're pretty common in crypto as well here. And then triangles are actually rare in crypto as well, at least on larger time frames. I said in the last video that I've only ever seen 2. So that is something to keep in mind. But the most important takeaway is to have a plan in case it does flush all the way down here. So let's go to this chart. So this is the 4-hour chart, and so this is where we are right now. And you can see that it does not look good, at least for the short term. So there's 2 possibilities. So this red scenario, where we go, or we had 5 up here, we go down into this 2 region between 8,000 and 7,300, and we continue up into this region. So this could either be that B of a triangle. This could be this could be the leading diagonal A or 3, or this could be that B wave that I was talking about earlier, where we just go down from there to 4,000. So it's nice in a way in that we don't have to worry about anything else on the more shorter term chart. So you can see that both of these scenarios, the green and the red, call for downside right now. And I'm going to go into a little bit other, a few different other ways of knowing that this is a very heavily, this area is very high in resistance, and it is quite unlikely that Bitcoin is going to get above 9,500, at least in my opinion, in the next week. And that we should expect a correction of at least 10%, probably more, in the next 2 weeks. And I'm giving it to start until the end of this rising wedge. So that's on the 26th. So We go into the wedge a little bit more. So this is the hourly chart zoomed in. So a lot of people don't think that rising wedges are useful, and they discount triangles completely. And I think this is a mistake. I actually think that, in my experience of trading, I think that they're one of the more high probability patterns that you can trade. It's just the sometimes you get scenarios in which something that looks like a triangle isn't actually a triangle. And there are certain clues that you can use, including volume, that will be able to tell you that. But this looks like a pretty clear rising wedge to me. And you can see that there's not much room left for this. So someone commented, any corrections for ZIL? So when Bitcoin corrects, it takes the entire market with it. If Bitcoin drops 20%, alts are going to follow Bitcoin at least. It's very rare that an altcoin will hold up its sat value. And this is because there is an asymmetrical relationship between the money flowing into and out of alts. So people who are pulling their money out of alts, they'll pull their money out of alts whether the alt is dropping or Bitcoin is dropping. But people who are putting money into alts, they're only doing it when alts are rising. They don't really care if Bitcoin is rising as well. So there's an asymmetry. And so that's why you see markets correcting all at once, but then when Bitcoin goes up, altcoins don't necessarily follow. So someone else said 25th April Summit Conference. Summit Conference of what? Like there's a lot of conferences. So yeah, this is the rising wedge. This is a pattern that a lot of classical chartists like. So you follow someone like Peter Brandt. This is a pattern that he will call out a lot. And you can see that in this chart as well. And it has some nice confluence with this purple band of resistance. So if I go to this, so this is just showing you how strong the resistance in this area between $9,000 and $9,500 has been. You can see it, I didn't even count this one, but it held as support once here, and then resistance 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It held as resistance 9 times, maybe even 10 if you count this one. So it held as resistance 10 times and only broken through here, and that it only went up around $500, and it broke through here. So let's say we'll call it 1.5. So 15% of the time it has actually succeeded. Not even 15%. It's 1.5. 10% of the time it has succeeded. So it doesn't look like it will be able to break this, especially considering all of the other indicators, especially the oscillators. So we go into this. A lot of people will use the oscillators, and I won't call it in an incorrect way, but they'll say, oh, RSI, it's oversold, sell, or oversold, buy, or it's overbought, it's over 70. Like, that means you should sell. And I don't think that's a particularly great way of using it. You get a lot of false indicators. Let's see. What can I find here? I'll look on the chart later because I have this set to 60 and not 70. But the way I like to use the oscillators is for divergences. So you can see that we're making a higher high between here and here. But on the oscillator, you have a flat RSI, you have lower highs on the MACD, and you have lower highs on the Hurst cycle channel oscillator. And I didn't show it here, but you also have a lower high on the time segmented volume, and you have a lower high on the OBV oscillator. I don't include those because generally those tend to follow the Hurst cycle channel one pretty closely. Let's see. So this, if you didn't know, bearish divergence means that there is not that much momentum behind this price movement up. So it means that it's fragile, I guess is one word for it, where it could really turn down at any minute and run the other way. And that's not conducive to breaking a resistance as strong as this one. So when you have such heavy resistance, what you typically see is you hit it once, you bounce off of it a couple times, you pull back significantly, and then you blast through it on your next attempt. If you do get that next attempt. So I think that this is definitely going to retrace down, and then if the larger trend is bullish, then it would be able to push through this. But if the larger trend is bearish, we might not even see the retest and break through this. So if we go back to this, the green shows the path down. So if in fact we are to see some more pain in the market, we would see 5 waves down to this 1, 3 up to the 2, and then we flush all the way down to the 4,000, close to the 5,000 region. But there is a lot of evidence to suggest that this red count is perhaps more likely. I guess it fits this a little bit better. This counts a little bit better as just 5 waves leading diagonal up, whereas you kind of have an extended C if you count it this way, and the proportions are a little bit weird if you do the green count. So there's some evidence there, and also the technicals do slightly favor strength, but we've seen technicals fail before. And then am I missing any charts that I want to go through on Bitcoin? Yes. The Ichimoku Cloud. So I have recently been learning how to use the Ichimoku Cloud. And to be honest, I'm undecided about its usefulness. Full disclosure for that before looking at this chart. Bitcoin actually does seem to respect it a lot, but a lot of alts just seem to completely disregard it. So I'm not completely sold on its usefulness. But you can see that Bitcoin very much respects the Kijun. So the Kijun is this red line here, where it just couldn't close below it. I mean, it had to close here, but it never confirmed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it finally has a few more tests and then breaks through it. And then when we go up, it's now acting as resistance, tags it again, and then we go all the way down, retraces up, tags it again, back down, and then it goes up to here, tags it, and this is when you hear people saying, but this time is different. But I assure you, this time is not different. This was in fact our best shot at breaking through, because you had the low cloud resistance here, and you had a pullback off of the first test of resistance to gain momentum, so that to pull back so you could gain more momentum before slingshotting through both the Kijun resistance and also the shallow cloud resistance. And then after that, you can see how much bigger it gets, and it has much more resistance there. So it didn't look good to break through here. If it pulled back and then it broke through, that might have been an area, a chance. And then now that we have, it went even lower, we go up here. And like I said, from the oscillators, it doesn't have that much momentum. It doesn't look like it's going to break this. Plus you have the cloud resistance right there as well. So combined with the traditional support and resistance that is in this area, as well as Fibonacci resistance and your rising wedge pattern, I really, really do not think that we are going to get above 9,500. I'll even say that I don't really think that. It would be extremely unlikely if we got above 9,200. So, am I missing a Bitcoin chart to show you? Not really. Let me go back to, am I showing something else? And if you know technical analysis at all, you'll know that for support and resistance, just the normal horizontal, what I'm showing here is the most widely used, because it is what works the best. So coming back to this chart, I'm trying to think if there is anything else that I want to say on this. I'm going to say it again because most people are going to ignore me if I don't. You need to have a plan. You need to have a plan for both of these cases. So if your plan is just to let the market do its thing, that is not a plan. You have to know, like, okay, if it breaks this support, or I'm going to have bids in this box for half of the amount that I normally risk, and then I'm going to have a stop loss below this 78.6% resistance, or 78.6% support, just in case we get down to this one. Like that's a plan, and in fact that is my plan. So while I don't recommend you copy it exactly, I do recommend that you do your own research on these charts, or at least taking people who know what they're doing's opinion in, multiple if possible, and formulate your own plan. Because while other people's plans might work out for them, they're not going to work out for you if you don't have the conviction to stay with it throughout its entirety. All right, so that is Bitcoin. If you have any questions on any of the Bitcoin charts I've just presented, please put them in the comments. I would love to hear some questions on this. I know that a lot of this stuff is new to the people on our channel. The majority of people in our Telegram group, at least, were just holding and didn't have any previous trading experience. So we're going to try our best to ease you into the world of position trading and swing trading, because in our opinion, it is much, much more profitable. If you do the math, actually, it's a minimum of 3x more profitable, even if you only catch the middle 50% of a move. So from the 25th to the 30th, many blockchain summits and conferences. They would pump crypto. Yeah, I don't really look at news that much, honestly. I just look at the charts more than anything. I look at the fundamentals of the market and of individual cryptocurrencies. So as for summits, like maybe. It's not something to rely on. And like I said, just because it extends all the way up to this region, it doesn't mean that it won't break through immediately. I mean, if you look at the chart, like it's already started to break through a little bit. Let's go to 1 hour. Yeah, it's already started. I guess it had a false breakout, at least right now, and then it's going back in, and then it might go all the way up. But yeah. So, like I said, last call for questions on Bitcoin. I'll move on to alts after this. Excuse me. All right, no questions. Cool. Let me go into the icon chart, ICX. So, icon is the first group of, if you look at alt charts, and you look at a lot of them, you're going to notice a few different patterns. And the ones that I've seen, there are three major categories of altcoin charts right now. And there are a few exceptions. So those exceptions being Monaco and Verge and a few others that I can't remember. But the common denominator between those are that they had news events that either spiked them incredibly, like Monaco did, or Basic Attention Token also had this, or it was like Verge, and they had a disappointing partnership announcement that just completely dumped the currency. So while I did say, yes, I don't look at news, it certainly is able to have an effect. So icon is the first group of charts. And actually, let me look. What was just pulling up what I had written in the email. So if you're not signed up for our strategy newsletter, I send out a written version of basically what I'm talking about right now. So if you go to altcoinmentors.com/strategy, you'll be able to sign up for that, and that'll be delivered to your inbox on Sunday morning. So like I said, I'm covering all this stuff. Mount Converge. Yep, Enigma and EOS are the other two that are similar to Icon. So they hit major lows on March 18, and so March 18 was really when I thought the bottom was. And I paid for that, literally. So I loaded up heavily on EOS, Icon, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Enigma, and I can't remember the other one. But Icon, EOS, and Enigma did really well. But unfortunately, the majority I had put into Bitcoin and Ethereum, and that really cost me. So they had their major bottoms on March 18, rallied up quite a bit, and then dumped pretty hard, but did not exceed the March 18 low. And so if you compare this to a chart I'm going to show later, NEM, you can see that March 18 is here, and then it went up a little bit and then broke the low later. So in the recent rally, it had just a very, just like a straight line. It wasn't as quick as this, and again, this is why I thought it was the bottom, but it's just nice and steady grind up. And so this is very bullish if we can hold support. First critical support is here at the 78.6% retrace, and absolutely critically below the late April low. So need to stop saying so. Sorry about that. I was watching the live stream last week and was annoyed at myself for saying it that often. Hopefully it's not too annoying. The standard expectation for a wave 2 retrace is going to be between the 38.2% and 71.8%. So that's this green box here. And after that, you have the third wave, which is, according to Elliott wave theory, the longest and most explosive wave. And that's the one that you really want to trade. You want to get your entries. You want to have a little bit, save a little bit and try to nail the bottom, and then put the majority of your stack in on this wave 2 retrace so that you can catch that third. What you don't want to do is sell right now completely. I mean, if you're overexposed, you can take a lot of profit, but you don't want to miss that third wave, especially in the case of Icon, Enigma, and EOS. These are 1-2-1-2 setups where you have the one already completed, and then you're having the one of the three coming up next, and this is the most bullish wave of all. And I'm going to go more into this in the strategy section. So now let's look at NEM, the example of the second category of charts. Oh, actually, no, I want to go through. Yes, this is the second category of charts, where you have a completed pattern off of the early April low. Some of the altcoins bottomed, actually the majority of altcoins bottomed on April 1st, April 2nd, instead of March 18. And there are two subgroups of those. The first one being NEM. Let's see what else is there. Request Network, Ontology, Poet. Those are some others that are in the same category. And they have a full 5-wave structure up. And now we are looking for that wave 2 retrace down. So like I said, Bitcoin is going to take all the alts with it. And so the big question is, are they going to be able to hold supports for the wave 2? Same thing. This is the same strategy as the ICX, ENG, EOS charts, where you just want to catch this wave 2 on the retrace down to get to ride up the wave 3. And so now, this is the Power Ledger chart. This is where it gets interesting. Power Ledger has an incomplete structure off of its April 1 to 2 low, where, wait, is this the, yes, where it really wants to have another leg up. These are wrong fib levels, sorry about that. But it had a very clear one, had the one here to complete the 3, but then either the 4 is still to come or it's already completed, and it really looks like it wants to go back up and tag that 60 cent range. And there's a lot of alts that look like this. OneChain, BitShares, Zilliqa, ARK, VeChain, iExec, RLC. They all look like they want to have one more leg up, and that's why I'm not completely discounting the fact, that's why I'm not completely discounting that Bitcoin wouldn't fill this out. If almost every other alt looked like it had a full structure, then I would be calling for downside immediately. That's, altcoins are the only reason why I'm giving it up until the end of this wedge. So I would expect some of the alts in the category, such as this one, to go up complete, and then we would look for their wave 2 retraces down in the same zone, 38.2% and 61.8%. But then afterwards, or rather, the other ones where they would just roll over from here, these would be not, if not outright bearish, at least very limited in their upside later. So instead, it would have an A, B, and then a C to complete this 3. Instead of a 3, this is a C, and you have a corrective structure. And then this is either part of a triangle, a leading diagonal, or it's going to go down and break the April lows. So, like I said before, you really have to be prepared, especially if you have holdings that are very heavily in this category of alt. And then going on to what the strategy is for this next week, I had hinted to it a little bit more, where I said that you don't want to sell all of your crypto now and expect to enter fully on the wave 2 retrace, because the problem here is that the wave 2 could potentially stop as low as the 764. I mean, this potentially could have been all of 2. It's very unlikely, but it could happen, or it can be as deep as almost this 764. So you really want to have a core holding and not sell all of it at the top of 1 and then miss out on the 3 and the 5 later. Personally, I am using this as an opportunity to rebalance some of the long-term holdings that I have that I am overexposed to. Like I said before, I am overexposed in Enigma, EOS, and ICX just because I had bought so much of those on the March 18 capitulation. And because I lost a lot of money on the Bitcoin and Ethereum trades that same day, then I am very much looking to get into take the profits that I had from EOS and the other coins and put them into the ones I have smaller positions than I would like. And I'm not entering those positions immediately. I'm waiting until it retraces down for their wave 2. And then this will also apply to positions in which you don't believe anymore. So, what's an example? If you were holding a coin that was hyped up right before the correction, and you still have it for some reason, and it's gone down 90%, this is now the time to get rid of that. You don't want to have losers in your portfolio. You want to have only winners. And the losers are just going to drag down your entire portfolio. You want to be not heavily concentrated into ones you believe in, but at least concentrated enough that you're not looking at at more than 20 coins in your portfolio. I know that some people think that the way to play crypto is treating everything as a lotto ticket. And that would be true if there were no fundamentals. And I know that there are some technicians out there who are watching this right now, screaming at the screen, that fundamentals don't matter at all. But that is arguable for charting one thing. But if you look at the overall market and how you should allocate to your portfolio, some things are fundamentally better than others. And that makes it such that you're able to concentrate rather than completely diversify. I hope that makes sense. That was not a planned topic of interest. And then if you want to be more cautious or are overexposed to crypto in general, then you need to hedge. So this means that if you have the majority of your net worth in crypto, like I do, and you really don't want to lose that money, now is a good time to take out some Bitcoin shorts on BitMEX futures. And that is what I've done. And this is just good trade management. You add to your position as it gets closer to your stop, you add to your position, and then you reduce it as the correction starts. So a common misconception is that you should not average down, and you should not, I'm going to change that to say you should not average down unplanned. If you didn't plan to do it, you should not average down. But averaging down is a very useful strategy if you plan to do it, because it can get you a much better price than you originally thought it could get to. And then as the correction starts, you reduce it because you really don't want to be short if the third wave starts. Cool. If you like this and you want to receive it in your inbox every Sunday, you can go to altcoinmentors.com/strategy. And if you sign up there, you just enter your email address, and this write-up will be sent to you immediately. Oops. This article will be sent to you immediately, and you'll be able to forward it to anyone who will find it useful and make them think that you're very smart for following someone who gives good advice. So this is just sent out once a week. We do send out emails inside of the week, but it doesn't really have to do with anything happening in the market at that time. It's more of just general strategy, tactics, and trading education. Whereas if you want to get stuff like trade ideas, market updates, and daily charts, then you can join our Telegram group, which is t.me/altcoinmentors or altcoinmentors.com/telegram, and you'll see that that's where we post all of our stuff. We have a model portfolio in there that at this point is doing, I think we're still at more than double what the market has provided in the last month or so. Originally, the market was at -10 and we were at 20%, and that was just hitting a home run. And now I think we're at 30% and the market is at plus 20%. So we definitely lost out on some opportunities, but I think we'll be able to catch the next ones. We still outperformed the market, which is the important part. Definitely didn't lose any money. So again, altcoinmentors.com/portfolio for that. And that's in our Telegram channel, t.me/altcoinmentors. And now is the time of the broadcast where I answer questions. So if you have any questions, please put them in the chat, or else we'll have to end early. Let me refresh this. And it doesn't have to be on what I've just said. It could be on anything. Crypto in general, life in general. coin that I see growing fast is Pundix. So Pundix is not a coin that I see growing fast because it is a complete shitcoin. Sorry. There is literally no point in this coin existing except to raise money. This is a startup, and they were like, oh, let's raise a shit ton of money by doing an ICO and having a coin that no one actually needs and actually reduces from the user experience. They have to work around having a Pundix coin just because they wanted the money. So even though this will definitely pump in an alt season, it will not be a fundamental long-term investment. Because not only do you have the execution risk that you normally have with a startup, you also have the risk of it being a completely useless coin. Because it is centralized, no one else runs a node that this coin operates on. They can take away the coin's value at any time. You can't do that with Bitcoin. Bitcoin has value because it is decentralized. And I talked about this in my decentralization video. But Pundix, everything's controlled by them. Holy, it's at 300 million? Damn. This is a complete shitcoin, guys. Don't buy it. Which coin has the potential to be added to Coinbase? Let's look. EOS has a pretty good chance. Yeah, I think EOS has a pretty good chance. We've seen already that they're pretty adamant about not adding Ripple, so I don't think Ripple will be added. But EOS is a favorite of many in Silicon Valley. It has strong corporate backing, strong VC backing, and Coinbase is also a VC-backed company. They're a Y Combinator, so yeah, EOS has pretty good potential. But I don't trade anything to do with Coinbase rumors. I think you're not gonna be able to do it. I mean, if you look at what happened with 0x, it pumped massively and then dumped after. Like, that's just craziness. You're not gonna be able to get in and out quick enough. What do you think of Transcodium? That's a new one. It's an ICO right now. Rent your idle machine for file editing, transcoding, and distribution. I personally would not invest in this already just because it is not a platform. Because what you have to understand is that platforms have the greatest amount of value captured because they are capturing not only people, they're capturing the value of every single application built on top of the platform. Whereas if you have just a standalone blockchain for one application, it's only capturing the value of that. So they make much better investments. Wow, that's a lot of legalese. Damn. Yeah, I don't really see the point of using this over. There's a lot of these. Rent your computing power. It's kind of like, yeah, rent your computing power and do all this stuff. They're like, we're going to compete with AWS. Good luck with that. Yeah, in Transcodium, I am not interested. But if you have an edge in that market of video computing power, and you think it's good, go for it. Airdrop is 7% just for hold. Oh, for Pundix? Yeah, I don't care. Do you have any low cap alts at the moment? Enigma. Ravencoin. Republic Protocol, Origin Trail. Enigma is a perennial favorite. I know I said the video was going to be out this week. Work is crushing, unfortunately. It'll be out this week. But Enigma has been my favorite coin from the very start. I guess not the very start, but Enigma was the very first altcoin where I thought, holy shit, this is going to be massive. And I've shielded enough in other live streams, so I'm not going to get into it here. But if you just read the white paper, you'll realize that it's a complete game changer. And it's only at 180. This is it could 100x from here, honestly. So Ravencoin could potentially 1000x from here. I have a video on that coming as well. Let me go to my due diligence document. Hold on. Crypto, Raven DD. Move tab to new window. That's not what I wanted to do. Alright guys. Let me show you Ravencoin for a bit. Overstock.com is connected to 3 blockchain-focused companies. Medici Ventures, T0, and DeSoto. And Medici Ventures is their VC and R&D. T0 is a decentralized security token exchange, and DeSoto is doing property rights and real estate on blockchain. So what is Ravencoin? Ravencoin has a value proposition and was fairly value prop of ASIC resistance, energy efficiency, and being optimized for the use case of storing and transferring assets. So you have things like being able to create unique assets, giving rewards to asset holders, sending messages, voting. And it was forked from Bitcoin and fairly launched. It was mined by the community, and there was no ICO, no pre-mine, and there's no central control over the project. 450 contributors on GitHub, and very decentralized because of its ASIC resistance. Now, where does Overstock come into play? Overstock owns over 60 million Ravencoin, so a little bit under 1/10 of the supply. And Medici Ventures, remember this is connected to Overstock, has 2 of its employees on the white paper for the Ravencoin hashing algorithm. And Bruce Fenton is on the board of Medici Ventures and is clearly one of the original creators of Ravencoin. And so this is a quote of him talking to the CEO of Overstock and telling him about Ravencoin, where he said he liked it. So T0 and DeSoto, they're both offering some security on the blockchain. T0 is doing more general securities tokens. DeSoto is doing real estate and property value. And so if you have companies who want to put securities on the blockchain and they go to T0 or DeSoto, what are they going to say when they ask what platform they're going to use? Oh, our parent company, Overstock, owns Medici Ventures, which has put significant resources into Ravencoin, a coin that is meant specifically for transferring assets. That sounds promising. What's the market cap of this, considering how the security token market and real estate market is potentially trillions of dollars? And you see that the market cap is only 31 million. While yes, a large part of that is because the circulating supply is less than 1 billion out of 21 billion. It is through mining, so it is not like anyone can dump that remaining supply on you at any time. And this is why I really like Ravencoin, for a potential 100 to 1000x return. This is a coin that I have personally loaded the boat on and will buy even more if we get a flush right here. So yeah, Enigma, Ravencoin. I like Republic Protocol. You guys know that. I made a video on it. Really good. Managed to buy some at around 3.5 cents, but unfortunately sold it at far too early at around 7 cents. Could have waited, could have gotten it almost at 8.5, but that's okay. Still have a pretty good sized bag of it and gonna buy more on the retrace. Like Republic Protocol. Origin Trail I like too. Low value, low market cap. Origin Trail is doing supply chain, and the real thing that I like about Origin Trail is that it's a protocol. So you have protocols, then platforms are built on top of protocols, and you have apps built on top of platforms. And Origin Trail is the protocol level for supply chains. So, sorry about the so's. Something like VeChain, also doing supply chain, Walton Chain, these can all use Origin Trail to make their systems a little bit less complicated. So that's why I like it very much. Very low market cap as well. Less than 50 million. And the last one I will show you is Haven. This I recently saw shilled on Twitter. It is a Monero fork where you have a smart contract that essentially gives you the right to new Haven tokens later on in the future anytime you want. And that amount is pegged to fiat currency. What this means in practice is that if you want to store money, holy, it's almost at $3.50. Damn. Should have bought more. Damn. It was under $1 a few days ago. What was I saying? Oh, yes. You can, if you want to store a large amount of money and you want to do it securely and on a blockchain but have it still pegged to fiat, you would use Haven because it is untraceable and you have a smart contract that gives you the right later on to new Haven tokens. Read the white paper for more information. I feel like I'm not doing a good job of explaining this right. Pretty cool tech. Usually when you see things shilled on Twitter, they're just complete garbage, but this one was actually pretty cool. I still have to try to see if it works though. That's the real thing. I haven't tried it yet. I just bought some and kept it on the exchange, which is horrible practice. But I will try it soon, don't worry. Damn, $4. Should have bought more. Litecoin short-term prediction. LTC. Right, this is not my chart, so let's see what's on here. This is my dad's chart. Pretty strong up off of the low. Looks like it's in the category where it could use. Actually, that's a pretty significant drawdown. Yeah, I could still use a top probably around the 170-ish area, but I wouldn't bet the farm on it. Bitcoin looks like it's rolling over, and so this could prove to be a corrective count. All eyes on Bitcoin right now. Any thoughts on Tron? Oh boy. Tron is a complete and total shitcoin, but everyone seems to love it. I don't get it. Let's see. I haven't looked at a Tron chart in. Actually, I don't think I've ever looked at a Tron chart just because I know it's so bad. Holy, it's still at 3.5. Oh my. Don't let anyone ever tell you that markets are rational. This proves it. 100% this proves it. Look at this. $3.5 billion for Tron. Alright. Let's take a look. TRX USD. TRX USD. FNX. 4 hour. Okay, I need more data than this. Binance. Oh, I guess I have looked at a Tron chart. Must not have remembered it. Looks like it's following what I had mapped out pretty well. But this is the bullish version. This could roll over at any second and just be an ABC here. I hope it dies, honestly. What do you think about Dragon Chain? Let me remember. I'm trying to... Do I remember what Dragon Chain is? My friend works Dragon Chain, so... And he says it's great. Oh, this is the Disney blockchain. Yeah, what a great story. And that's not a good thing. What you have to understand is that during an alt season where you have newcomers, and by alt season I mean a true alt season, where you have people who have never looked at a single cryptocurrency in their life are coming into the space with money and dreams of becoming millionaires and owning Lamborghinis. And what these people do are look for two things. They look for coins that are cheap, and by cheap I don't mean low market cap. I mean literally the coin itself is less than $1 or even a few cents because they can own more. And second, they look for something that has a narrative that's easy to understand and something that is compelling. So let's go back to CoinMarketCap and look at the coins that have pumped really hard in past alt seasons. Ripple. Ripple is both cheap, under $1, and has a narrative of banks. Cardano. Super genius Charles Hodgkinson, under $1. Stellar. It's like Ripple, but lower market cap. What else pumped really hard? Tron. Announcements after announcements. New internet. 5 cents. What else pumped hard? Verge. Privacy. 7 cents. Nano. No fees. $7. I can't remember any other legendary pumps. Substratum pumped pretty hard. New internet as well. Anyway, Dragon Chain has a great narrative, and it'll definitely pump during the next alt season, but it'll probably go to zero eventually. It's centralized. There's no actual use for the token. Dragon Chain, the company, is pretty cool. I think that they will do very well and bring some companies onto Dragon Chain, but I don't think that those companies are going to acquire Dragon tokens. And by bring them onto Dragon Chain, I don't literally mean the Dragon Chain blockchain. I mean a blockchain made by Dragon Chain that is permissioned. But wow, great website. Haven't seen this new one. Damn, looks very nice. The logo's cool too. And we're at an hour. I have around 30 more minutes if you guys have any more questions. You can look at any coins if you want. I'm gonna get some more water. And then I will answer any questions. doesn't look like there are any more questions. Do I have a view on Sophia TX? I do, actually. Sophia TX also has a good story. Blockchain for business, partnering with SAP. Maybe I just don't have enough experience in enterprise software to understand the value proposition. But I completely don't understand the value proposition. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't see how this is any different from any other platform, or why it would do any better. What is, I just don't see it. They're not actually partnering with SAP. They were just building an integration for it. They leverage smart contracts, share info, improve collaboration. Like what, like this stuff is meaningless. It doesn't mean anything. Common building blocks. Like this is not. I would really love if someone could make me, if I've gotten into people have asked me this on Twitter, and I've asked other people what the value proposition of Sophia TX is, and no one's been able to give me a good answer. So until someone is able to give me a good answer, I'm not going to just touch it. You think XRP will run hard again this alt season? Yes, I do. Unfortunately. Obviously, it's number 3 right now, so it is limited. So you have to find the next thing that has a good story and is low value. I don't know what that is, by the way. Crypterium? That sounds familiar, but I have no idea what it means. And then Zilliqa. I like Zilliqa a lot. They've proved sharding. But it's not going to beat Ethereum. If anything, EOS would be the one, but it has some concerns of decentralization, unfortunately, or of centralization. So, crypto bank for crypto people. Well, that sounds sketchy already. Oh, this is the McAfee shill. I remember this. Yeah, there's literally no point of the card. It's completely centralized and doesn't have any actual value. And because I'm looking at the website right now and I can't understand what it does, it means that there's not a good story. What does this mean? What's a crypto bank? Like, you mean a wallet? Like a vertically integrated service that encompasses the best ideas? This stuff doesn't mean anything. I don't see the point. Complete shitcoin. IOST. Infra for online service providers. Sharding, atomics, proof of believability. You know, I'll have to look into this. Yeah, I'm gonna put this on my to look into list. It's has my attention. Is that QA? Thanks for that. I'll look into it. But yeah, Zilliqa, I like Zilliqa. But it's a little overvalued right now, I think. It just ran really hard. Like I said, it's in the category of coins that could use another 4 or 5. Yeah, it's some weird structure that I don't quite care to try and figure out because there's better opportunities. I'm just skeptical of, fundamentally, I'm skeptical of how they're going to onboard people onto their platform, because that's what really matters in the long term. How many people can you get to build stuff on your platform? And EOS has a very clear way of doing that, because they did a Dutch style auction and they raised over $1 billion. So they can definitely get developers on their platform, but Zilliqa, not so sure. Salt. Oh, Jesus. Oh my God. $18? What's it at? $2? I am very sorry to anyone who held this coin. Wow, that is horrible. That's impressive. Salt coin market cap. Yeah, no, that is its entire history. Wow, that's impressive. It hit a new low. Looks like 5 up to me. Looks pretty good. But I have nothing on the longer term. Like, that's pretty clearly 5. So you should expect a 2 somewhere around like $2.50 to $2, $2.20. But yeah. Long term looks like garbage. Look at the symmetry on this though. It's pretty impressive. Got this here with here, up, up. These spikes here, these spikes here, the up there. Damn, it's pretty interesting. But I am not entering this at all. Let's look at what's this IoT Reddit post. What? Okay, well that's meaningless. Let's go back to TradingView. Cool. Thank you guys for the questions. I'm here available for about 20 more minutes, so if you have anything else, feel free to ask. I like taking questions because I get introduced to new projects like IOST, so I'm gonna look into that. It seems very technical, so I'm gonna have to read the white paper. Can't do that on stream right now. Just for fun, look at the 15-minute chart. Holding up pretty well. Generally, when you see a fake breakout like this, it usually throws back up to the top line. I guess you didn't really see that here. You did see a pretty significant pullback, but that's generally what you see when you have this fake breakout, goes up here and then goes down. Cool. Of course, always in the nick of time, people submit things. LGO, Legolas. I remember at one point I looked into this. But again, this is they can take away access at any time. It's a centralized coin. So, because I'm assuming that the way that they do like almost every exchange coin is that the LGO token pays for fees. And in that case, they can just stop doing that, or someone can fork and just, yeah, someone could just fork the exchange and make it so that there's no fees. LGO token. Yeah, all transaction will require LGO tokens. Yeah, okay. No. That's the main problem with all these decentralized exchanges. Someone can just fork it and eliminate the fees. So, I don't like it. How much of a retrace do you see for a nice entry on Ripple? Do I have an XRP chart actually? I might. I don't. So the thing with Ripple, I need more history. Bitstamp? Does Bitstamp have more history? Yeah, there we go. The thing with Ripple is that it doesn't... It might not have retraced enough yet. And it might be in the camp of Bitcoin where we see a flush, it will just go down to a new to make a newer low around probably no less than where it was stuck for a while in around the 20-cent range. But if you're talking about more short term, this doesn't look good. Yeah, doesn't look great. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I mean this retraced almost fully, so it's not really a 2. Doesn't look like 5 here, so this looks corrective. So it's possible that this is it's possible that it's it's not looking great. I hope Ripple dies. Complete centralized shitcoin. They can stop your transaction at any time, so not good. A lot of people don't know that about Ripple, actually. I'm finding that out. They didn't know that Ripple controls all the nodes and can actually stop your transaction of XRP. So it truly is the bank's token. Can do whatever they want to. AirSwap. See, now AirSwap is more interesting because it's not just a DEX. It is in fact a DEX protocol. They changed the website. Oh my god. Wow, Reddit is truly horrible. Okay, $15. Okay, come on, guys. AirSwap is one of the projects that was on my list of things to look into back. That's been since December. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But I like the protocols, as you guys know. So AirSwap I might like depending on how well designed it is. But if they do have a mainnet launching soon, then yeah, that could definitely be a catalyst for something. Let's look at the chart. Oh wow, that got demolished as well. $2. Whoa. But this is in the camp where it bottomed in. You can see a lot of these alt charts look alike. This one bottomed on the 18th, March 18, just like EOS, ICX, and ENG. Yeah, this is in the camp where it looks like it could actually. No, that's pretty good. Yeah, this could be 5 up. So. Yeah, kind of weird. Actually, that really looks like 3. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt since it doesn't have much liquidity, but that looks okay. And then you would see the retrace down for 2. But AirSwap looks alright. Not as clean as something like NEM, which, by the way, NEM is also a complete shitcoin, but looks good. The chart looks good. Anything else? Have around 12 more minutes. That looks like all. No, there are no more questions. So I'll wrap it up now. As always, if you want, there's always one ONT, ontology. Chart looks good for ontology, but I have not looked into it fundamentally. I was very surprised at how quickly it pumped. I had bought some just because of the hype, and that paid off pretty well. Interesting. Okay. Oh, it looks like it has a nice top right here. I'll probably sell most of mine. But it ran up really quickly. I mean, it was at a low of $1 and just went up. It's at 4 now, so that's pretty good. Yeah, this is another one I'm going to have to look into. Fundamentally, probably sell most of mine now because it looks like it just had 5 up, but that'll be added to the list of things to look up. So I look at the chart. OTBC times BTC USD. Yeah, looks good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Extended 5th. Do you think the fundamentals matter as much as TA? They're launching with 3 large liquidity platforms. So what you have to realize is that buy the rumor, sell the news is not just a meme. It's actually something that happens very often because the news is often priced in already. If people are running AirSwap up because they know that they're launching on the 25th. Then on the 25th, it's just going to dump. Just like how Verge dumped because they had a big partnership announcement, and then they announced and it dumped hard. Just like how... Yeah, I mean, buy the rumor, sell the news. It's a real phenomenon. And the only way it doesn't happen is if the news was unexpected. So Monaco, news was unexpected. Basic attention token, news was unexpected. So those pumped. But if everyone knows that AirSwap is going to release on the 25th, then it's not gonna do anything. Oh, and lastly, please do not trade off of the quick wave slapping that I've just done on something like Ontology. I really do need to take a much better look at it because I'm realizing now that, I mean, this could just be 3 if you have A, B, C. That's a very real possibility that it's just 3 up, you see 3 down or 5 down, and it's just a dead coin. But so don't trade off of this. This is not financial advice. And now I will actually go. Sorry guys, no more questions. As always, thank you for let me switch over to the webcam. As always, thank you for watching. We really do appreciate all of your questions, comments, and really do thank you for watching, because we are just getting started in this, and every single person who is following us and shares our content really does help us to reach more people and educate everyone on how to best achieve their dreams of financial freedom through cryptocurrency investing and trading. So thank you very much, everyone. And as always, if you like this video, hit the like button below if you are on YouTube, if you're watching the replay. Leave a comment if you have a question. And if you want to get the strategy notes delivered to your inbox every single Sunday, you can go to altcoinmentors.com/strategy. If you want to join our Telegram group, you can go to altcoinmentors.com/telegram, where we have our model portfolio that is still outperforming the market. And that is at altcoinmentors.com/portfolio. Please subscribe if you like our content, and above all, share with someone else who would find this useful. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.